Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. Today, I want to talk about the idea that spirit does the initiation. In a strange way, we feel like we're somehow trapped in the body or caught, lost in the wheel of samsara, whatever expression you want to use to indicate somehow we're stuck or something's missing. And yet at the same time, the very essence which brings us life and seems to create this conundrum of feeling no way out also guides us to liberation, or moksha, as it's called in yoga parlance. Now, the really interesting thing is yoga refers to certain states of consciousness which we haven't experienced. It's called samadhi. And there are different levels. I always like to say, I'm just in the shallows. I can't talk about what's happening really in the depths. But the idea is they mention states of consciousness, which they're axiomatically accepting it as being potentials for human beings, except that most people don't go that far, so then you doubt its existence. Now, in the 60s, I went through what I would call the psychedelic revolution, where the first thing you realize is you have to drop out, turn on, tune in, and drop out, especially of unloving roles that you don't want to play and be a pawn in the game of the masters of war. So you have to go within. And when you go within, you have a chance to evolve in a certain way your personal development. It may seem narcissistic at the beginning because it's all about you. And ultimately, if you're getting into a path where it's egoless, as George Harrison used to say, I, me, mine, I, me, mine, I, me, mine, one of those minds are going to explode one day. But if you stay with it, then all of a sudden, you'll have some kind of revelation. You will make a way for yourself. You will make a breakthrough. And then, of course, you bring that revelation back, just like the hero's journey. You leave what you know. You find some kind of test and trial that happens in the subconscious of your own mind, in your inner psychology, and then whatever boon you wrest from the gods, you bring back to serve your society. So yoga is supposed to be a map, right? A marga, a path that helps you understand what you're exploring, and hopefully what it says fits your experience. So it's really about beginning to become conscious, more conscious than you were prior to beginning the path, and continuing to be more conscious. And of course, the key to that is, are you feeling alive? Is your yoga practice, or whatever is your practice, does it make you feel that vitality where you can't wait to get up in the morning and extend yourself into life in all its ramifications? And if you do that, you will feel the Shakti, you will feel the energy, you will feel the prana, you will feel the life force coursing through you. And one of the great things that it does is helps you reverse what I call figure and ground. The things that were normally in the background, the glue that holds us all together, that kind of becomes in the foreground. You see how we're connected instead of separated from everybody and everyone. So once you see the ways in which we're the same or similar, it's not that you don't see the differentiation, but that becomes background, not foreground. So you could say in a certain way, new concepts of connectedness replace the old obsolete concepts of divisiveness and fear. Now, one of the things that's interesting is when you're young, maybe a lot of the actions that you do are geared towards using your will and in a certain way making your mark, asserting yourself. But if you really study the yoga path, 4 out of the 8 limbs of yoga are much more passive, much more restorative. They're much more about regulating your life force through breath work, relaxation, and meditation. So if it's supposed to be a unitive path, don't forget the passive practice is as important as the active practice all the way through, and certainly probably more important the older you get. So once you realize that the mind is a prison, the learned mind is a prison, how do you get through conditioning? How do you get to the place where you're not a human being who can be hacked? Put down your cell phone, get off the computer, and get involved in real-time activities, prime-time activities. Don't wait. And as I said in yesterday's Dharma talk, don't take on anyone else's shit. Nobody is making you do anything. You have the power to create your own life. More important is to look at your own inner saboteur, your inner predator, your inner self-betrayal, your own acts of denial, how your own ego, the ahamkara, works to keep you attached to its storyline. So all I can say is, how do you live in peace? The mind at peace finds ways of affecting its environment. Your increased consciousness will see numerous opportunities of how you can fit in, and opportunities to serve always beckon from the beyond. So that's why I feel my heart breaks every time I hear somebody who says, I can't do that, which really means I won't do that. So go forward, everybody.